Hey there guys, welcome back to my playthrough of Devil May Cry 3. We're on mission 11. This is the mission involving Beowulf, who's a fun fight, even if he can be awkward at times. But I think this is the part where you're officially introduced to the Soul Eater enemy, even though I've already encountered this enemy before. So yeah, I remember I was very confused with how to deal with this enemy because I never watched the cutscene here. But even then, it's a bit vague. The game doesn't really reveal that the only way you're going to expose these enemies from their fog state is if you're not looking at them. The good news is, when they do their charge attack, they don't try to go intangible, so you can repeatedly shoot them. But when they're paired with enemies like the Hell Vanguards, which are those mini-bosses that teleport and use the sights, that's really where it gets awkward. But like I stated before, Devil Trigger Explosion is definitely the best way to get rid of them quickly, because it only takes about 2 charges, maybe, in order to actually kill them completely. But suffice to say, they're definitely one of the most annoying enemy types in the game. And look at that right there. So there's this weird issue with this room, and I don't know why they opted for the placement of this sight enemy, but this sight enemy has some huge displacement issues because its ground plane shifts upwards a lot in this room because he can't pinpoint your position properly. And also be careful here, the Soul Eaters can hit you through the railing. That's one down. Can also use this time to taunt them if they're close. Dead. Whoa. Oh, he's up here. Good. Seat displacement issue. And he's back on the ground level. And they're still around. Or actually, I think they're gone. I think I can deal with the scythe enemy now. Whoa. The geometry really becomes a big issue. This is one of the dumbest enemy placements in the game, by far. Again, displacement issue. It's such a massive problem with this room, and I'm surprised this enemy didn't Devil Trigger when I killed 2 of the Soul Eaters. So that whole parameter where enemies Devil Trigger after witnessing 2 other enemies die, it's not entirely rigid like that. There is some flexibility involved depending on the type of enemy you kill, it seems. Oops. See, why didn't he Devil Trigger? I killed 2 enemies right in front of him. It's a bit confusing how this parameter works sometimes. He Devil Triggered just then, but not the other one I killed. Maybe they... No. I'm pretty sure they can still Devil Trigger even when they're in a non-standing position. Uh-oh. That was probably not a good idea, but okay. That wasn't so bad. But this is the boss fight against Beowulf. Royal Guard really shines in this encounter if you know how to use it correctly. Release never works for me properly. And apparently I messed up the timing on that. There we go. You can do this fight a lot faster than how I'm doing it right now. There we go, that's how you do it right there. You deal massive damage when you punish that move with release when you have a full charge. That's the kind of damage I want to see more often when you're doing skillful things in a Devil May Cry game. But it's not always the case. I knew that was gonna hit me. Oh, let's do it again. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That is so cool. That is awesome. Like, that's how you specifically punish one specific move of a boss. It's not even a move, it's just a phase transition animation, but the fact that it's that rewarding with the damage is impressive. Now, this part I've done a couple of times, but just like the sequence in Devil May Cry 1 where your health was constantly draining and you had to get to the end of the mission quickly, you have this sequence where you have to get back before your health is fully drained, and you're permanently stuck in Devil Trigger mode. So obviously styles like Quicksilver and Doppelganger are completely useless, because you can only use those styles when you're not in Devil Trigger form. See, like, he's still Devil Triggered even when I knocked him over, so the enemies are clearly capable of Devil Triggering when they're knocked over. But sometimes they just don't Devil Trigger when I kill 2 enemies. And try your best to avoid damage at all times. You don't want your health to drain too much. So with these first 2 combat encounters, the second one coming up right now, the enemies don't drop substantial health orbs. The health orbs only restore a small amount of your health, but in the later encounters they drop way more, which is helpful. But focus on the white guys, leave the purple guys alone. You don't want the white guys to Devil Trigger because they have so much life. I'm also going to avoid doing the 3rd hit on this combo, so that the enemies don't get knocked back so much. No, you don't. Also good that I'm here, because the camera is going to be in my favor. Yeah, again, only focus on the white guys. You do not want these white guys to Devil Trigger. There we go. Yeah, there are a lot of white guys that spawn during this sequence. It's intentional, what they've done with this sequence, to punish you for prioritizing the purple guys. Because obviously when the purple guys double trigger, it's not a problem. They don't have an absurd amount of life, and there's still another white guy. Oh no, there's just the purple guy. But always prioritize the non-double triggered enemies instead of the double triggered ones. Stop blocking my attack! There we go. Very simple. But try to kill some of the blood coils here, because they will drop a lot of health orbs. Very helpful for the later sequences. See? You need a lot of health for the upcoming sequence. Because this next combat encounter coming up is one of the most annoying combat encounters in the game. The gameplay really falls apart in certain parts. You can use the glide move here if you want to, but it makes you vulnerable to the blood coil's attacks. God dang it. There's a displacement issue. It's far too common with this enemy to have displacement issues. That one's dead. Again, prioritize the non-devil triggered enemies, so you can constantly recover health. These red guys can be a real pain in the ass at times. And unfortunately, you can't use the camera to your advantage, because it's a fixed camera angle instead of a controllable camera. Yeah, you can imagine just how dumb the sequence is on Dante Must Die difficulty. It's yet again another sequence that stresses upon Royal Guard. But with this many enemies, the mechanics can betray you at times. There we go. Previously when I did this, I died like 10 times, but I've gotten used to it. And now we have a boss fight against Garion, which is a pretty dumb encounter, mainly because the physics fight you a lot. The amount of times Dante falls off the carriage is too much. And then there's also some moments where you just get hit by attacks for no reason. So this part, you pretty much have to use your Spiral weapon. Only fire twice and then jump. Use the wall bounce specifically so you get more height. I'm sure Royal Guard could be useful here, but I haven't really found a use for it. Ah, really? What did I get hit by? A projectile? But eventually this guy will stop and you can just lay into him with the spiral. You have to make sure he loses 25% of his life. He only gets stunned twice right there. Ooh, that's bad. Should not have stunned him right there. I'm amazed I was not getting hit by those projectiles. Now, jump on top of the carriage immediately. You do not have much time. Don't attack immediately. Make sure Garion gets to the outer edge of the arena before you start attacking, because there's just a random possibility that Dante will fall off the carriage because of his animations, because of the physics. Then you gotta rush all the way back here. Make sure you taunt. Devil Trigger is really important here, because speed is crucial to success. And this is where the camera can mess with you. So run backwards like this, in this particular spot, so that Garion spawns right there, and then you just gotta circle the arena. He'll do this about 4 times, and on the 4th time, he'll stop. And you gotta make sure you jump at an angle like this, that you don't get hit by the projectiles. And that was really close. Make sure you circle like that. Alright, stop attacking. Stand still. Hopefully Dante doesn't get pushed off. Like, look at that. I'm getting pushed off right now because of the way the carriage is interacting with the geometry and with the way the walls are set up. And make sure you're locking onto the carriage just so Dante is more likely to not fall off. Yeah, this first phase is fine, aside from the awkward physics. But the physics get even worse in the second phase when Garion gains access to more moves. So again, run like this. You don't even need to use Devil Trigger for this part, which is good, so long as you run exactly like how I'm doing. Garion spawns depending on where you are and how you're moving. And avoid these orbs, because they will slow down time and you'll get hit by spears, like right now. I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm gonna Royal Guard just so I don't get pushed off. So look at that, I could have easily fallen off right there. The physics are horrible in this particular boss fight. I question if this guy is vulnerable. Oh shit, I totally forgot which phase I was on. But it's fine, I can recover. I question if this guy is vulnerable to the Cerberus, given that he seems to be using fire alongside his time powers. Jump at an angle, circle around this thing. Stand still. Careful of the walls. He's not locking onto the carriage for some stupid reason. Can you get off the carriage, please? Sometimes Dante is very late to jump off, and you can get hit by bad hitboxes in the process. Should taunt right now. Stand right here. There we go. There are going to be a lot more of these spheres around in this phase. And I know Garion's on this phase because I saw the spheres as I was attacking his carriage while Garion was doing the fire move. Taunt right now. Stop attacking, Royal Guard, just to reduce the likelihood of falling off. I'm going to try to use this time to build up Royal Guard. Should also Devil Trigger just to reduce the damage. There we go. You deal a lot more damage in the process by doing that. But yeah, I do wonder if Cerberus is powerful against this guy since it's an ice-based weapon. Oh, god dang it. Oh, whatever. I should use this time to taunt, because I need to build up my Devil Gauge. Ooh, that could have been bad. He's not spawning the orbs for some reason. Because every time Garion spawns an orb, he's supposed to flash his eye, but he didn't do it this time for some reason. And by the way, those camera shifts that occur whenever it's locking onto Garion, those can mess with you if you're not running exactly like how I'm running, because the amount of times the camera shifts towards Garion and it affects my input when I'm moving and I accidentally hit the orb and Garion hits me, it's too problematic in this encounter, which is why it seems like it's well designed, but it's not, because you have to game the system and you have to factor in these camera manipulations in order to actually mitigate the issue. It's really dumb that they designed the camera the way they did. But it's done. That looked very manageable, but your first initial encounters with Garion can be very frustrating. You know, I question why Dante is able to gain access to all these styles, like the Quicksilver style and the Doppelganger style and Royal Guard and all these other styles, yet he doesn't have any of these styles in Devil May Cry 1. So why does he just lose them? That's what I don't understand. So this particular statue right here is the most dangerous of the bunch, because that statue has the ability to fire fireballs at you that are very damaging, and it can also heal other enemies. But that definitely warmed up to Devil May Cry 3. I know my first video seemed a bit negative. This game still has problems, but I've warmed up to it a bit more. I mean, I still don't find it to be as good as people claim it to be with certain sequences and certain missions. But I definitely replay this game more than Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 2, even if right now I'm warming up to Devil May Cry 1, even if it does have problems. Alright, but here comes the Vergil 2 encounter. He's a lot more aggressive in this fight compared to the first fight, so it allows you to punish him more often.
This may be fun. Come on, this may be fun. Come and get me. This you may will be not fun. Forget this devil's power. Unworthy is my opponents.
No, you don't. But this is also one of the more annoying parts to Vergil 2 and Vergil 3, because you have to constantly ensure your Devil Trigger explosion is ready whenever he Devil Triggers, because your other attacks just aren't very effective at getting him out of Devil Trigger mode. Devil Trigger explosion is the one move you have that really reduces his Devil Trigger HP, so that you can then hit him with one attack and he's out of the state. Oh no. I thought I was going to hit the swords just then. I knew he'd teleport.
Come on, Imp. Now I'm a little motivated. Come on, Imp. This may be fun.
This music is pretty cool as well. I think I hit him that time. Gotta wait for the swords to go away, because I don't have enough Devil Trigger. No, yep, there we go. Ah, come on, I knew I was gonna mess that up. Didn't mess it up that time.
Come on, Whip. This may be fun. Come and get me. Now I'm a little motivated. Rest in peace.
Ah, damn you! I fucking hate when he just immediately puts up the swords after he Devil Triggers.
Come on, Whip.
He's gonna recover a lot of health in the process because he cheated like that.
Come on, Whip. Come on, Whip.
And he's just standing still now.
Come on, Whip. Now don't get so cocky.
Whoa.
Come on, Whip. Now I'm a little motivated. Come on, Whip. Now I'm a little motivated. This may get so cocky. Come and get me.
That's dangerous. Oh, come on. Oh. My timing was off on that significantly. I don't know if that was enough. Yeah, that was good enough.
Now I'm a little motivated. This may be fun. Come on, Imp. This may be fun. Come on, Imp. This may be
I could have used double trigger explosion right there, but I didn't want to take a chance. There we go. That's manageable. I definitely like it more than the first Vergil fight, even if there are problems. And this one is a strange mission. I don't know why you have to go outside and then actually climb up the tower again. I'm sure it's probably revealed in a cutscene, but I don't think it will make much sense anyway. But I think this is the mission that introduces those angel-like demons, which are called the Fallen. They're one of my least favorite enemy types in the game. Yeah, you do a lot of retreading through the same areas. Oh, come on! Of course they had to get iframes at that one moment. And I did the release on accident. Didn't see that guy. That didn't do anything.
Come on, Imp.
The recoil on the spiral can be problematic.
Come on, Imp.
Gotta weaken this one. Really?
Come on, Imp.
Alright. Alright, just one more. This will be no problem. Really need to get into the habit of not aiming so much, because I need the increased mobility. Nice! Release really helped me right there. These are one of my least favorite enemies for sure. The sequences with them are just very awkward, and in certain environments they can become a real nuisance when they go through the geometry or they stay in the ground all the time. I should have been charging my double trigger explosion. I keep forgetting. There we go. Oh no, this sequence. This sequence of claustrophobic rooms dealing with statue enemies. So, I think there's one specific path you're supposed to take while there are certain rooms that are dead ends. So I think you have to go this way. Yeah, you have to go this way. Yeah, some of these rooms can be very problematic. Oh god. Oh my god. The camera is really messing with me right now. Seriously? Oh god! That was close. I can do this. Okay, this is actually good. I'm standing in the right spot where this piece will actually be doing nothing. And, wow! This guy is really struggling to hit me. But unfortunately he pushed me into the night. Okay. This shouldn't be too bad. So Beowulf is effective against this enemy, but you don't really notice much of a difference in the damage on Dante Must Die difficulty, so it really diminishes the value of using certain weapons against the enemies, unless you're talking about weapons like this, where you can do, like, multi-hitting combos like that. Oh, but the door's not opening. So I'm guessing you do have to do the... Oh, come on. I don't really understand how the sequence works. I think these encounters aren't optional, actually. Like, you have to do all of them in order to get out of here. Definitely use this time to charge my Devil Trigger Explosion. So even if you're standing in the right spot where you can loop this... What? What was any different right there? Did the taunt really shift my hitbox? I didn't think the taunt would shift my hitbox like that. Yeah, but even if you're standing in the correct spot to loop this guy, you'll still get away if you do certain heavy-hitting attacks against it. Yeah, but standing in the right spot, good. Or not... Oh! That's one. And he didn't Devil Trigger for some reason. Normally they Devil Trigger if you eliminate one of them. Maybe the Devil Trigger system works off like a timer. So like whenever you kill an enemy in proximity to another enemy, it reduces the timer significantly. Firing the fireballs. There we go. And they Devil Triggered. Now this is gonna get ugly. Oh! Just gotta be extra sure. Okay, so they are looping. That's good. And he's... Okay. I don't know why all of a sudden he wasn't looping. I didn't shift my hitbox in any sort of way.
Come on.
Really should get into the habit of real guarding their jump attack. Come on. There we go. It's still annoying that you don't have the ability to hold down square to fire your pistols repeatedly like in Devil May Cry 2. They instead reserve that for Gunslinger, but it's not really a rapid fire, it's just a charge shot, and it's a very pitiful charge shot because I was using Gunslinger the other day, and the damage is just not very good. Okay, so I was inaccurate with saying that... Okay. Yeah, I was inaccurate in saying that Devil Trigger Explosion would destroy these statues instantly. I don't know why sometimes these bishops, I think they are, why do they just open up without firing? And I should be charging my Devil Trigger Explosion, I keep forgetting. It's still so awkward the way they handle Devil Trigger Explosion with the input. Yeah, but all of a sudden this portal appears and it just takes you back to Love Planet for some reason. Yeah, that was a pretty annoying encounter.